Ha! You missed! No, I didn't! I didn't miss.
First heard about Jupiter's Legacy, it was people comparing it to Amazon's show The Boys. When I started watching it, as of this video, I've only watched up to the 3rd episode. I can confirm that it is nothing like The Boys, at least not that I've seen so far. The only similarities it has is that we get a more realistic point of view into the characters' lives, and they're not afraid to show an open skull that has been mashed in by one of the superpowered dudes or dudettes. That is where the similarities sort of ends. Jupiter's Legacy is an American superhero television series, which came out on Netflix on May 7th, 2021. It's based on the Image comic book series Jupiter's Legacy by Mark Millar and Frank Quitely. Yes, another Image comic show like Invincible. But man, they should have taken some inspiration or clues from how well Invincible is doing and make this shit animated, cause goddamn. I mean, I get the concept, but holy shit, dude, the special effects are lacking in a bit of special. They look like ass.
Going after that! No!
Dude, maybe it's just me, but this reminds me less of modern-day superhero television shows or movies like CW's The Flash and puts me more in mind of a time where Kevin Sorbo was the best Hercules. The show starts off strong. Okay, strong is kind of like maybe an overstatement. It starts off okay because when watching movies like this about superpowered beings, I want to believe that they're actually real, like they actually have the superpowers they do. The first other superpowered person that we see in her getup is a Jennifer Lawrence knockoff who just forms a bionicle shield around herself, and the effects look like something from out of the old style Power Rangers. No lie, her suit looks like it's made out of freaking plastic. When Paragon lands, it's not bad, but everything starts to fall apart when you look at the battle between all the good superheroes and the supervillain. Near the end of episode 1, it's like at times the lighting is just off, like the characters are not actually there, which most likely is the case because a lot of the times what we see in terms of environment that the characters are in is actually just a green screen or matte painting. This battle sequence made it painfully obvious to me. The lighting is just ugh. Also, whenever the characters are punching each other, they don't look like all the punches are landing. The scenes are cut horribly bad. One minute a character is hitting another character, but it's like vital information is missing. So in the next moment, when you see them on the floor knocked out, you're wondering what the hell is going on. When did the punch actually connect? When did he rip her head off? Even though the other more popular Image comic work, Invincible, is 2D, it feels more real than this Sesame Street segment. I feel like I'm watching a superhero movie made in India. And that's not even fair because nowadays Indian movies look much better than this. You can hear when they punch people or when they land. You can feel the presence of physics. What in the hell is this? Okay, so look, in comparison, I will give them that. You can feel the connects. Sometimes it's not as hard as you want, but it's so much better than Jupiter's Legacy. In this show, it looks and sounds like these people are sparring in the vacuum of space. And I know that's a grand exaggeration, but that's how it made me personally feel. Look, I wanted to root for this, but every time I feel my joint expectations rising and things start heating up, like an inexperienced lover shifting position at the last moment, when whatever it is he was doing was working, I just lose my total desire to keep watching. It's like a freaking build-up to what you know is gonna be a buck-ass drop, and then when the drop hits, it sounds like which in turn makes me feel
what the fuck is you doing?
Also, I don't know if it's the acting or just the pacing, but sheesh, at times it feels like the show is dragging its feet. To be fair, people say it gets better around episode 8 or 9 near the end, but it is important to hook the audience in the first episode. Not even that, in the first segments, early on in the first episode. You then drive it home with a climactic conclusion of the first episode, and this climactic conclusion felt very anticlimactic. Didn't even look like he was hitting him. Oh, the battle was weak and dreary, and the best way I could describe watching this battle on screen, which is one of the most important sequences you'll ever see in a super movie or show. It's what the superheroes do. It just is. It's like having Pokemon and not having a battle. Yeah, the best description I have for my experience watching Jupiter Legacies, at least the first battle, is when you bite into a cookie that you know is supposed to be crunchy and your teeth sink into it like you're chomping down on a wet plush toy. It's one of the nastiest and most unsatisfying feelings when something is supposed to be crunchy and hit hard and makes you feel like a predator snapping something's bones in half, but instead your teeth just go sploosh. Or when you're supposed to be eating something soft like rice or boneless meat and then you taste something like a freaking rock in your food, and then when you spit it out, it is a freaking rock. I would have moved on from the show a long time ago, except my partner kept playing the next episode because he was coding and there was nothing else to watch, and everything else that we have to watch we actually have to pay attention to. I mean, there's that. This was a show that we just had on because it was at the end of the night and my partner just needed something to do playing in the background while he was programming. Something that didn't require much attention or invest. I too was able to look at my phone and read whole articles and then look up and realize there was still nothing going on. It's not that it's just empty in terms of substance in the show, because I do think there's an interesting story to tell. It's just the way it's being told. Right now, in my opinion, the best parts of the show are the flashbacks because they feel like a totally different movie that would have been great as a movie on its own. Josh Duhamel, I think that's how you say his name. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. And the other characters do well with their execution and expressions. The dialogue isn't even horrible. Jupiter's Legacy just does not feel like a finished product to me, especially when you consider this is supposed to be a superhero show. It's almost like the people behind this have never watched superhero shows or movies before in terms of the battle sequences and how the costumes are supposed to look. This is just my opinion. Now, there might be some people who absolutely love it, but for me, it's a meh. I shouldn't have to split the ends of my hair out of sheer boredom until I reach near the end of the show in the final episodes when things apparently get good. As I said with another comparison, CW's The Flash way outclasses this show by miles. I mean, sometimes the effects are weird, but his effects when he's doing his superpowers, whoa. The Runaways definitely outperforms this show by miles. And I'm kind of mad because now I'm hearing apparently it was canceled and I actually liked it. I don't know, there's just something missing in Jupiter's Legacy, and it could be a directorial issue, but it just doesn't hit as hard as it needs to for a superhero show. I'm hoping that people are right and it does get better, but for me, it's not really that strong of a start. I don't want to be trudging through a show that looks like it was made in the 70s. Anyways, I know that sounds a bit harsh, but this isn't personal towards the people who put a lot of work into this. I'm sure they put their hearts and souls into this. It's just too stale for my palate. It's also possible that the team and the directors could make a masterpiece with something else, because it feels like someone took an Olympic swimmer out of the water and told him to now run track. See, they were good at something, but it wasn't this. And they have the potential to become better, but they're already leaks behind everything else that's out now. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.